Hello, I'm Michael McDermott, and this is Chapter 1 of Organizational Fitness, Building the Sustainable Organization, and here we're going to discuss the effects of structure. First, let's discuss structure. Structure can be defined as a collection of interacting parts that are governed by a set of rules. Structures can be simple, or they can be very, very complex. If you have a complex structure, you have the additional capability of having an adaptive structure. Simple structures can't be adaptive, but complex structures can. When we take a look at an organization, for example, an organization is a complex and adaptive structure. Let's take a minute to consider performance. Performance has two major components, effectiveness and efficiency. Effectiveness generally has to do with how well we satisfy an expectation, where efficiency is quite different. Efficiency is how much useful work we get out for the effort that we put into something. So the two of them together, how well we satisfy expectations and how much work we have to put in to be able to get to that satisfaction, is what performance is all about. Now, what complicates performance quite a bit is that it is contextual. Now let's consider context. Context can be defined as the set of circumstances, the facts or conditions that form the setting for evaluation. So this allows us to understand and assess whatever it is we happen to be evaluating. I call the context the functional operating environment, or the FOE. We have to be able to properly address the FOE in order to perform well. We have this idea that we're performing within a context. We're trying to do useful work to obtain a desired result. We have expectations that we need to meet and satisfy, and all of this happens within a context. Now, the difficulty with context is that context changes over time. Okay, so we know that performance can be evaluated within a context, and that context changes. So we can take a look at the aspects of change, and these aspects can be categorized as the 5 Ds. We have degree, drive, difficulty, doubtfulness, and divergence. Degree is how much something is changing. Is it changing a little or a lot? Drive has to do with the rate of change. Is the rate of change very fast? Is it not so fast? Is it accelerating or decelerating? What kind of drive is behind the change? The difficulty dimension of change has to do with complexity. Is this change extremely complex to understand? Has a lot of interacting pieces and parts that we have to understand in order to move forward? The 4th D is around doubtfulness. How unclear is the meaning of this change? Is there a lot of ambiguity in what's going on? Or is it fairly clear, and is the path forward fairly obvious? The last one, and probably the most vexing one, is divergence. And this has to do with how different something is from prior experience. Unpredictability, perhaps. Because if it's very divergent from prior experience, we don't have any analogous situations that we can apply to the current set of changes or the change dynamics that we're experiencing. That can make things exceedingly difficult. Now, these 5 Ds are all present when we're considering change dynamics, but they're all present to more or less to greater or lesser degrees. And understanding what the principal components or drivers are behind the dynamics can help us immensely. Okay, let's try to relate structure and change dynamics. Remember, the structures can be simple or complex, and that structures are interacting parts, some set of interacting parts, and the interactions take place via rules. So complex structures have a lot of interacting parts, and therefore they have a lot of rules. This generally makes complex structures difficult to change and sort of inhibits the flexibility. This can improve performance, though, because you have explicit rules governing behavior. In simple structures, you have less rules and less interacting parts. This can improve your flexibility in ambiguous situations or situations that are unpredictable, but it also reduces performance because these are sort of knowledge-based structures. So which of these two is best? For that, please stay tuned. In the next chapter of Organizational Fitness, we will discuss the impact that structure has on performance. Again, I'm Michael McDermott, and thank you.